What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Crypto Breakdown Whiteboard mini-series. In today's video, I'm going to do a deep dive into Osmosis, aka the king of dexes. So, who wants to win $1,000? Let's play a game. Take a guess and tell me where you think the price of Osmosis will be at the peak of the 2024/2025 bull run. Whoever guesses right closest to the penny will win $1,000 in Bitcoin. And PS, all guesses must be in before the next Bitcoin halving. So if you all are ready, let's kick things off with what is Osmosis? And big shout out to Alex Moskov at coincentral.com. If you guys are looking for educational crypto content, they are by far the best website I've ever found. This article is off the hook. So according to Alex at CoinCentral, Osmosis is an automated market maker, AMM, built with the Cosmos SDK. It specializes in interchain DeFi movement in the Cosmos ecosystem. In other words, Osmosis is a decentralized exchange specifically built for Cosmos with plans to expand to more blockchains. Think of Cosmos like a giant sandbox, and then think of Osmosis as something that can connect all of the various dApps together. As a DEX, Osmosis nurtures a heterogeneous and interoperable cross-chain trading experience. Out of all DEXs in the Cosmos ecosystem, Osmosis is currently the most dominant, accounting for roughly 40% of the total inter-blockchain transfers on Cosmos. IBC-compatible blockchains such as Cosmos, Regen, Akash, and more can seamlessly be swapped on Osmosis, with fees generally under $1. To best understand the Osmosis value proposition, it helps to first explore the Cosmos ecosystem and some DeFi and DEX basics. Number 1, Cosmos. Cosmos is an internet of blockchain networks in which developers can build interoperable dApps. In the ideal Cosmos world, Ethereum apps will play nicely with Binance Smart Chain apps, and so on. But for now, projects that adhere to the IBC will be able to seamlessly communicate with each other and send tokens for minimal transaction fees. The Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, also known as the IBC, is a protocol that relays messages between various independent distributed ledgers. It was initially created to connect Tendermint-based blockchains. Tendermint Core is a Byzantine fault tolerance engine for building blockchains. It allows developers to write applications in any language and then replicate that app globally. There is no need to wait for transaction confirmations. A transaction is immediately finalized once included in a block. So what is an automated market maker, or an AMM? This is a popular DEX protocol that relies on algorithms to price cryptocurrency assets in liquidity pools, filling the role of a centralized market maker in an order book method platform. Now let's talk about Osmosis's top features. Technically speaking, Osmosis is a proof-of-stake blockchain with a decentralized exchange application, specifically designed for IBC-compatible blockchains. Number 2, cross-chain native. Osmosis is designed to be cross-chain native, and like many Cosmos projects, it's built to be IBC compatible at its foundation. Osmosis plans to branch out to non-IBC enabled chains such as Ethereum or any other ERC20 blockchain via the Athea Gravity Bridge and Bitcoin-like chains and alternative smart contract platforms via custom pegs. But in my personal opinion, based on the coding language that Osmosis is built in, any bridge will get hacked, and it's just a recipe for disaster. So be very careful using any type of bridges. It doesn't matter what blockchain it is. Now let's talk about sovereignty and unified incentives. Sovereignty is a big deal for Cosmos folks. Osmosis derives its sovereignty from its architecture, as well as from the collective sovereignty of liquidity providers. Each LP is incentivized to simultaneously maintain their autonomy and provide liquidity by different mechanisms. Osmosis is unique within the Cosmos ecosystem and other DEXs because it aligns liquidity providers, DAO members, and delegators' interests with a variety of incentives. For example, staked liquidity providers have sovereign ownership over their pools, and they can adjust parameters based on market conditions and how competitive the pool is, among others. Nothing in the Osmosis AMA is hard-coded. LP providers can vote to change any pool parameters, such as swapping fees, token rates, reward incentives, and curve algorithms. Now, liquidity pools on Osmosis are also self-governing, and they are completely customizable through their governance. This feature promotes heterogeneity with the intent to create a competitive and nurturing atmosphere of rapid iteration and experimentation. This heterogeneity is achieved through an array of customizable options. While most DEXs rely on bonding curves, Osmosis also allows for dynamic adjustments for swap fees, multi-token liquidity pools, and custom curve AMMs. Theoretically, the Cosmos AMM can enable the decentralized formation of a token fundraiser and an options market, and even interchain staking. Now let's talk about the legendary superfluid staking. In the traditional DeFi industry, token holders must choose between generating yields from staking, which maintains the protocol, or from liquidity, which provides AMM stability. Osmosis pioneered a feature called superfluid staking. Osmo, the Osmosis governance token, can be used for staking and liquidity simultaneously, maximizing rewards without making any internal network trade-offs, i.e. security for liquidity. So a liquidity provider or staker in Osmosis will earn rewards from providing liquidity and staking, where other platforms require token holders to make a trade-off. For example, somebody in the Osmo AKT pool will receive the pool's LP tokens, which can be staked to secure both Osmosis and Akash networks. The user will generate yields from the LP rewards as well as the staking rewards. Now let's talk about how to use Osmosis. There are a few ways to use Osmosis, and it's best to follow the money. There are 3 categories of fees on Osmosis. Number 1, anyone who transacts on the chain will pay transaction fees. These fees are variable and based on storage and computation cost, and the minimum gas cost proposed. These fees are distributed to Osmosis stakeholders and validator operators. Anyone who swaps assets on the Osmosis DEX will pay swap fees, which are determined by each liquidity pool's parameters and trade size. These fees are distributed pro rata to the pool's liquidity providers. Number 2, liquidity providers who pull their liquidity out of a pool will pay exit fees. The LP shares are then burned, and the value is distributed to the remaining liquidity providers. So anybody can use the Osmosis DEX functionality to swap IBC compatible tokens like Atom, Ion, AKT, Luna, and other compatible chains like Kronos. Now let's talk about providing liquidity on Osmosis. Liquidity providers can add liquidity to a pool and earn that pool's swap fees determined by the pool's owner, which is usually around 0.03%. And they receive LP tokens. These LP tokens can then be bonded for durations of 1 day, 7 days, and 14 days. Osmosis also makes it possible for other projects to add incentivized mechanisms to their pool. For example, if the Cosmos Hub community pool wanted to incentivize liquidity for an Atom stablecoin pair, they could distribute Atom rewards using the Osmosis built-in incentive module. These incentives aim to encourage long-term liquidity, not short-term mercenary farmer models, where yield farmers move from pool to pool seeking the best yield. In practice, a project could provide higher incentives for LPs who time lock their LP tokens for more extended periods, decreasing liquidity and volatility. Now let's talk about Osmosis Osmo staking. Staking can be done through Keplr, the primary wallet for the Cosmos ecosystem and Osmosis projects. And big shout out to Keplr, guys. I've heard massive great reviews on this wallet. Now let's talk about Osmosis governance voting. Osmosis token holders can vote on a variety of governance proposals through Keplr. This is how the decentralized project is run. So what is Osmo? The Osmos governance token? Osmo is the native Osmosis token, and it underpins the entire Osmos protocol. And it also facilitates everything from liquidity mining reward allocations and the base network swap fees. As a governance token, Osmo enables holders to decide the strategic direction of the project. It can be used to vote upgrades to the protocol, allocate liquidity mining rewards for a specific liquidity pool, and set the base network swap fees. In addition, Osmosis token holders can determine which pools are eligible for liquidity rewards with the goal of aligning stakeholders and the LPs with the longevity of the protocol. Osmosis is also unique in that it can be used to stake and provide liquidity both at the same time. Now let's talk about Osmosis Tokenomics. At Genesis, an initial supply of 100 million Osmosis coins were pre-mined and split between fair drop recipients and strategic reserves. Osmosis has events in which new tokens are released called daily epochs. The newly released tokens are distributed as followed: staking rewards 25%, developer vesting 25%, liquidity mining incentives 45%, and community pool 5%. The initial supply of 100 million Osmo has a total planned inflation rate of 76%, with inflation cut by 1/3 per year. Maximum token supply is 1 billion. Token inflation is based on a thirding model, where token issuance is cut by 1/3 every year. For example, if the initial supply of Osmosis is 100 million, released by June 1st of 2021, 1 year later, 300 million Osmosis tokens will be released. Year 2, 200 more million Osmosis coins will be released. Year 3, 133 million coins, until the total supply of 1 billion Osmosis coins have been released. If you held Atom in your wallet on February 18th of 2021, you may have Osmos airdrop tokens waiting for you. The full Osmosis airdrop can be unlocked by interacting with various missions specified by the project. However, if you did not hold Atom on February 18th of 2021, you aren't eligible for any of the Osmosis airdrops or mission rewards. The total amount of Osmosis is around 30. And again, mad props to Alex. You crushed it on this article, buddy. Thanks for making my life so much easier. Now let's talk about my Osmosis price predictions. But could you please finger punch that like button and the subscribe button, please and thank you. Also, don't forget to double check your notifications. I've been getting reports that people's notifications have been getting turned off by the algorithm, so definitely double check to make sure you guys got that bell turned on. Comments also help out big time, so if you want to enter my $1,000 Bitcoin giveaway, don't forget to make a price prediction. Let me know where you think Osmos will be at the peak of the next bull run. As of today, the price of Osmosis is $1.30, and there are roughly 282,464,369 coins of Osmo out in circulation. If we take the current price and we times that by the circulating supply, that gives us a market cap of $367,446,431. So that means if you invested in Osmosis today and the price of Osmosis is $1.30 and the market cap is $370 million, and I always round to keep it simple, for you to 2x on that investment and for the price of Osmo to hit 260, the market cap would need to hit 740 million. For you to 10x on that investment and for the price of Osmosis to hit $13, the market cap would need to be 3.7 billion. For you to 20x on that investment and for the price of Osmo to hit $26, the market cap would need to be 7.4 billion. And for you to 100x on an Osmosis investment and for the price of Osmo to hit $130, the market cap would need to hit 37 billion. Now let's talk about risk versus reward, pros versus cons, and then I'll tell you my personal price predictions for Cosmos next bull run. Number 1, Osmosis is not a DEX built on top of a layer 1 that might bottleneck when the chain does. That's freaking huge. Osmosis is its own independent blockchain that's actually built with the Cosmos XDK, and their entire project revolves around being a DEX. That's huge. Number 2, Osmosis is hands down the most hyped DEX I've ever seen in my entire life, and it has by far the most diehard loyal community. Shout out to all the Osmosis fans and cosmonauts out there. Number 3, and my personal favorite, the UI, the graphics, the artwork, the design, and the user experience are freaking flawless. Whoever is the graphics designer for Osmos needs a big raise. And number 4, because Osmosis has its own chain, the sky's the limit. They could build their own NFT marketplace for the Cosmos ecosystem. They could build several different applications. They could build so much on top of just being a DEX. So sky's really the limit. Now let's talk about the cons. Number 1, no proof of stake blockchain is decentralized, in my opinion. So I find it very strange that they actually call themselves a DEX because there is absolutely nothing decentralized about Osmosis. But out of all the projects I've reviewed, Osmosis reminds me of Cardano. They really gave it a good shot, and I'd be very interested in interviewing the Osmosis team if they want to talk about how decentralization works and how truly decentralized their blockchain really is. Number 2, Osmosis has already been hacked. On June 8th of 2022, Osmosis was hacked for roughly $5 million, forcing developers to halt the network. Osmosis is built with a coding language that is Turing complete, meaning it's a looping coding language. It's extremely difficult to secure. It can't use formal verification, which makes it a billion times less secure than new smart contract languages that are just now hitting the market. And these new coding languages, aka Pact, were built specifically for building blockchains. So if we don't go into the bull run for another 1 to 2 years, there could be a lot more competition in the industry. Number 3, my personal favorite, rumor has it Sam Bankman-Fried at FTX and Brian Armstrong at Coinbase are allegedly trying to destroy this industry and pass legislation that destroys DEXs and completely destroys DeFi. And they're doing this so that the suits can keep all of the money to themselves. The type of crypto projects that Coinbase is listing are absolutely disgusting. Coinbase, FTX, they are listing projects that make the entire industry look bad, and then they're in Wall Street over there rubbing elbows with regulators. Just like T-Cash, if Gary the Crypto Gallows Gensler gets his way, he will destroy all innovation in the United States. And in reality, he already is. So, when one unelected bureaucrat with one swap of a pen can destroy a crypto project or an entire industry for that matter, it's hard for me to want to take the risk when there is more profitable decentralized blockchains I can invest in. Do me a favor, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button if you think we need to defund these unelected bureaucrats before they pass more crypto regs that do nothing but make it harder for the middle class citizens like me and you to get out of the 9-to-5 rat race. We do not need regulations, we need free markets. Blockchains don't need institutions. Institutions need blockchains, or they will collapse, or be surpassed by competition who does use blockchain technology. You guys might not have been around for it, but in 2015, when the crypto market hit a $400 million market cap, they said it needed regulations. We never got them. Then in 2017, when the crypto industry hit a $400 billion market cap, then crashed down, guess what? They blamed it on the lack of regulations. They told us we had to have regulations or crypto was going to be done. Then guess what? In 2021, we hit a $3 trillion market cap in crypto with no regulations. And guess what they're telling us now? We have to have regulations. And guess what? Now, the crypto market, Bitcoin, is less volatile than the S&P 500 in traditional markets. The world's most regulated markets are now becoming more volatile than the cryptocurrency industry, which is a free market. So if you think we need regulations and regulations are going to be good for the little guy, that is your sheep brain being brainwashed by wokeism. Start thinking for yourself and stop listening to the corrupt crypto media outlet. They print whatever the suits tell them to print. They have already made billions from crypto. They are out of the rat race. They only care about making themselves more money. Every crypto media outlet in this industry is a pay-for-hire shill. Meaning if SBF wants to put out an article that says he's the greatest dude in the world and his crypto regulations are going to be spot on, they will print the article whether it's true or not. There is no more important asset than Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin will be $1 million to $2 million in less than 5 years. Don't let the price of Bitcoin being at 20,000 fool you. Bitcoin is the only hope our children have at not living in a debt-based cycle, trapped working 9-to-5 jobs for the rest of their life until they pass away. I've made this mistake every time, right? And the saying in the Bitcoin world is fix the money, fix the world. Make sure you have at the very least one BTC before you play the altcoin game. Even if it's only $50 to $100 a week, I promise not owning more Bitcoin will be your biggest regret. And it's definitely one of the mistakes that I've made every single bull run. Thinking Bitcoin was too expensive, thinking it wasn't going to go up, thinking there weren't enough gains there for me. When Bitcoin goes up next time, it's taking the bond market. So it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen. So what are my best price predictions for Osmosis? I think Osmosis will be the Uniswap of the 2024/2025 bull run. In 2021, Uniswap market cap peaked around 20 billion. So I would expect Osmosis to do a 50x from its current price point. Peak, I think Osmosis will hit $65 to $85. And big shout out to the Cosmos and Osmosis squad. This was by far one of my favorite products I've reviewed so far. And shout out to subscriber 12 Gauge Mage. This one's for you, buddy. Good vibes always, crypto fam, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.